What's good, everybody? And we back just like that. We're finna jump straight into a part two, offensive coaches at Oregon. My takes, their timeline, jumping straight into it. Mr. Walk-On coach himself. That's what he like to call himself, Mr. Lockley. He's a meathead type of guy. He's a cute dog for the ones that's into the fraternity things, whatnot. That shows, you know what I'm saying, as we get into his timeline, that he's all about brotherhood. He's going to do good with recruiting. And if anybody who saw that hire was like, damn, like, who is this guy? You never heard this guy. And the reason why he calls himself walk-on coach because his resume to get him to where he's at is like, damn, like, he pretty much was walk-on. He's a high school coach, you know what I'm saying? He didn't start off as a GA, you know what I'm saying? And from the first video, how we did the circle between those coaches is the reason why he's at where he's at, because he know Dillingham and he know Coach Lanning from their time at Memphis under Norvell. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into his timeline. Coach Lachlan's timeline goes as it's very short. He was high school running back coach from 2009 to 2016. And then from there, he became not really a OC or no position coach. He was there helping with the weight room and, you know what I'm saying, build a relationship with the kids. It was a hire where he knows the Memphis area really well, and why not put him on that staff or around the team to help lure guys into Memphis. You know what I'm saying? From 2017, 2019 was there. Then he went on to go to FSU. And who is at FSU? Coach Norvell and Coach Dillingham. You know what I'm saying? Then he took on more of a better role at running back. After that, he leaves. He goes West Kentucky 2021. Now he's at Oregon. So he's still new in the field, like I said, with other coaches. All our coaches are fairly young in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's been an ongoing thing with people thinking that Oregon is a stepping stone type of job. But when you look at these coaches, kind of seems like with them being new, either A, they can stay there for a long time and make Eugene, Oregon their home with kids. Most of these coaches got kids besides Dillingham. I don't think he got kids. Or B, like, y'all like do y'all thing at Oregon and now y'all get picked up on a bigger role at a different school, another Power 5 school, which is respectable. But it's always one or two ways. That's what any school, really. I don't see Oregon as a stepping stone job. But these coaches, it shows like they've been here. But nonetheless, I feel like our running backs are in good hands because you got a meathead coach. Hopefully they stay healthy, they get powerful, strong. As you see, he don't play when it comes to lifting weights. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say this in a funny way or disrespectful way, but the guy, you know what I'm saying, he filled out, you know what I'm saying, look good. And also, too, like I said, I mentioned he's a cute dog. So what I meant by that is I'm not just trying to bring it up, just bring it up. But the brotherhood side of things, you know what I'm saying, is lifelong brotherhood between people that never even met. Like a cute dog from New York can run into a cute dog from California, and Cancun and Mexico, they gonna link up and vibe with each other and take care of each other because that's pretty much what it's all about. I ain't a cute dog, but I just know from the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying, I'm a little god brother's cute dog, but that's just how it works with fraternity if you didn't know about fraternity. With that being said, I'm implementing that with just recruiting, having a relationship with kids and knowing that you're in good hands, that it's always going to be a brotherhood. Like once he got the job, he hit up LaMichael James, he hit up all the other running backs that went to Oregon, you know what I'm saying? So that right there show you how much he take pride into that brotherhood with being a Q. And that helps him uplift his game as far as just being a coach, you know what I'm saying? Reaching out to the ones that was here before and to know what to do and what not to do, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Coach Locker for that. Adrian Clean, you know what I'm saying? Yes, he was the Steelers O-line coach. Yes, he been in the NFL a while. Yes, he don't want Super Bowls. Yes, he done played with Brett Favre and Tom Brady. He was a halfway starter throughout his whole career, but some would say, oh, he didn't do much in the NFL. He was still there. You know what I'm saying? You got to give kudos to everybody that made it to the NFL, make it past that 4-year term where you get a lifelong check, you know what I'm saying, for the rest of your life with being in the NFL. And he doing a hell of a job, you know what I'm saying, with his life, you know what I'm saying. Now he's getting to that realm of being a coach. But it is what it is. So we finna jump into it. I feel like this was a splash hire because our O-line, this is my whole thing on O-line. O-line don't get the credit in the actual media buzz how they should as compared to specialists like running backs, quarterbacks, DBs. They mainly get all love, all the highlights. You really don't get the highlights for the O-line. I mean, it starts in the trenches. While the O-line and the D-line push, you ain't really going to be good on either one, and it starts there. And a coach like this who had that experience, he played in the NFL for a long time, that's going to really help our O-line because it seemed that with us, we have a few come and go, like Sewell being the one who was like dominant since day one. But we got that line where it's just like the 5th, 6th year seniors. Like, damn, can we get y'all boys out in 3, 4 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys that's like super old, and now like our O-line is going to be super good because you guys been here like 4, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope Cleveland can come in and get these guys going from day one. Not saying start, but at least rotating them to where they can leave 3, 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like Sewell did. Instead of us have to have these 5th year, 6th year seniors on the starting line. You know what I'm saying? We got some problems right now with some leaving. You know what I'm saying? We lost the 5-star, then we lost Sagapolu to Miami. But shit gonna change. We knew it was gonna be some different stuff going on with all that being said, but it's cool. But let's go ahead and jump into clean timeline right here. He was a 4-year starter for the University of Hawaii. He went 2nd round, 46th pick in the NFL draft 2000 to the New England Patriots. 3-time Super Bowl champ. So, you know what I'm saying, he probably wearing the rings around practice, you know what I'm saying? To get into his coaching career, he coached at SMU from 2008 to 2011. He coached O-line, and he was a recruiter for them guys. Then he moved on to UCLA from 2012 to 2016 as O-line, run game coordinator, and associate head coach. Then he took his talents to the Steelers 3 years later for 3 years O-line. And not to mention, 2010, he was a top 25 recruiter at SMU. And then 2012, he was the Pac-12 top recruiter of the year. As I noticed, most of these coaches that came in, you would think they're like new, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, all been in the Pac-12 at least one point in time in their coaching career, if that makes sense, which is dope. So they know the area. You know what I'm saying? Landon knows the area. At first, I thought Landon was just a SEC guy for like back home in the East Coast, but actually it started Arizona State for him. So all these coaches know this area, know this coast to where we'll be fine with recruiting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people still butthurt about Cristobal leaving, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Cristobal, he showed us what to do and what not to do in the recruiting, and we're in good hands. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, it's all good. This hire was a good hire. The Coach Lachlan hire, it was Now we up to the tight end coach, Drew Mehringer. This is coach I talked about earlier in this video about a lot of alumni and fans feel like Oregon has become a stepping stone. This is coach right here was like, I don't know. It was kind of a splash high with the tight ends, with our young tight ends that we do have. They're talented. But this is a guy who done every year he's somewhere else. So the longevity of him staying, I don't know. Like I said, it's one of two ways. Either A, they're going to stay a long time, or B, get their credentials and they stats and go on to another position, make more money. It's understandable, respectable. Now that players making money NIL and players can lead to the transfer portal. So I respect both ends of it. So we're going to go ahead and jump into his timeline, and then we're going to move on to our receiver coach, Julian Adams. So right off the bat, he played quarterback at Rice. Right after that year was over, he jumped in, became a student assistant from 07-09. Moving along up the ranks, he became a GA from 2010-2011 at Iowa State. Moving along, 2012-2013, bring the camera back. So one thing I like when coaches get hired is, have they been around that culture of winning? Have they been around NFL caliber players? You know what I'm saying? Generational talent players. And with him being at Ohio State from 2012 to 2013, he know what it like. He know what it's like to see like great talent. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna help Oregon, because once you have an eye for something, you know something, then you see it. You know what I'm saying? And it's really no bias or hiding it or just trying to be one-sided with things. Because if you look at the teams that he had, well, he was a GA at the time at Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Up on the slide right here, you see Braxton Miller, you see Carlos Hyde, you see Devin Smith, Michael Thomas, Jeff Heuerman, Ezekiel Elliott, Cardell Jones. So you got to understand, this guy was on that side of things. Even though he's a GA, he wasn't a position coach or anything like that, or the coordinator. But his track record shows he was on the offense side of things. I'm pretty sure he's helping with the offense, and he got to see that talent the time he was there at Ohio State. So he know what it is. He see these guys, and the guys I just named in NFL balling out now. So he know what talent looks like. That's the thing with me. Like, compared to, and I ain't trying to really compare the two, but like Coach Loughlin, on the other hand, he's fairly new. In the schools he's been at, he really haven't seen like generational talent. You know what I'm saying? He's seen talent before, don't get me wrong. But we talking about generational and like top tier first round talent. Loughlin haven't seen that compared to Landon, Dillingham, and Lockley. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to get at. I ain't trying to bash the coach or anything like that. But I like that with Merringer and him being a G at Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? But moving along with the timeline, he got his first big gig at James Madison University. He was the co-OC and the quarterback coach. One and done there, goes to Houston, becomes the receiver coach and a RC. He also coached DeMarcus Ayers, who was a receiver at Houston, who had 97 catches, 1,221 yards at receiver, which is dope. He move along, one and done once again. He moves on to the Rutgers. He becomes OC and the QB coach. That year, they probably won. I don't think they won a game that year. To be honest, you guys can check me on that, fact check me. That was down year. It was one of the worst offenses in the country. I looked up the team stats offense. It was the worst offense in the country, you know what I'm saying? But once again, he was a one and done there. Moves along to Texas, where he would spend 2-3 years at Texas on the pass game coordinator, receiver coach. He also coached LaJordan Humphreys, Colin Johnson, and Devin Duvernay. All three of those guys went over 1,000 yards some point in their career at Texas. And I believe Colin Johnson, he probably didn't, but he got close every year, probably 800, 900 yards. And he seen talent there as well, too. I can't deny it. And moves along to FAU. He's a co-OC receiver coach. Then once again, he's a one and done. Goes to New Mexico, co-OC, QB coach, one and done. Now he's at Oregon. So do he stay long at Oregon? I don't know. Was his splash higher? Somewhat. You know what I'm saying? So if he do stay 1 year, hopefully he gets the job done and helps the young guys out. We had true freshmen starting at tight end. We had guys injured. We had guys moving back and forth. And hopefully Spencer Webb balls too. You know what I'm saying? We haven't really heard his name a lot or seen him a lot, but it was okay hire to me. So moving along to Julian Adams, the receiver coach. Julian Adams, this is probably my least favorite hire. And I say this because, not because he came from UW. I'm not really tripping about that. But if we was to get a UW coach, we should have got Jimmy Lake, the DB coach, because he knows talent, he's seen talent. A lot of the DBs coached. He coached at UW when he was DC, making plays in the NFL now. But before we jump to his timeline, a little key facts about him. He played with Chad Johnson at Oregon State. He was on that team where Oregon State went 11-1, won the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame. So it's pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? And he knows the area. He's a Pac-12 guy. But this is one thing I've noticed, and he's been in Washington, Montana, Oregon. He's been in the Pacific Northwest pretty much all his life, like with coaching, playing. But my thing is, with being a receiver coach and just come from UW, probably the last 3-4 years, the state of Washington done had a top 5 receiver or a few receivers top 25 in the country. And not just anywhere in Washington, mainly just Seattle itself. You know what I'm saying? There's a few guys that went to Ohio State, but he couldn't lock those guys down. And that's my thing about it is like, bro, you couldn't even get the best receivers in your state when you was coaching at the best football school in your state. So it was kind of head scratch, like, bro, like, it really ain't made sense to me. And I don't know why they did it. Maybe so, like they were just ready to rumble and just get guys that was close or what the case may be. But even before he left UW the year before, you had guys leaving at receiver. Then this year you had guys leave before he ended up leaving, coming to us. So this hire really makes sense compared to who was all on the table to hire. And after we hired him and guys who got picked up, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say no names of coaches, but this was a head scratcher to me. Out of all the coaches, it's probably with him I didn't understand. And as we get into his timeline, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to things like that, but the timeline is like it's meh. It is what it is, and no disrespect, just being a coach that he is and the longevity he's been a coach, respectable. Because one day I want to be there, but just from a content creator and a fan of Oregon, it's like it's mad. It's like a blend, you know what I'm saying? But let's get into the timeline. Y'all see what I'm talking about. So Julian Adams from '04 to '06, he was a Montana State coach, receiver coach. Then he dropped back down to a high school coaching gig in Washington. Prosser High School. He was receiver coach in 2007. Those guys end up winning a national title. Excuse me, not national title. They won a state championship at the school he was at. '08, he goes to Chattanooga University out in Tennessee, I believe. He was assistant coach there. Then he moved along to Eastern Washington as receiver coach from '09 to '13. Then he moves to Boise State as receiver coach 14 to 15. Then he goes on to Boise State in 2016 to be the pass game coordinator receiver coach. Then he moved along to West Kentucky to be the OC receiver coach from 17 to 18. Then he goes off to UW to be the receiver coach from 2019 to 2021. And now he's here at Oregon as receiver coach. And the receiver coach we lost, I feel like a step down because that receiver coach we had seen talent, recruited talent. Go look at his resume back at Georgia. He done got a lot of guys that's in the NFL now. And this guy here is like I try to look up any good receivers he actually coached. Couldn't find none, you know what I'm saying? And the receivers we have on the team now, some good receivers. So this, once again, can go one or two ways. With a guy like him, I feel like he's probably going to stay at Oregon for a while because he really ain't got no big hitters under his belt of who he's coached. But this is the opportunity now. Like I keep saying, it's one or two ways. He either stay for a long time or two, get his little wrap up and leave. But my thing is, this is a great chance for him to stay because you got Troy Franklin, you got Brever, you got Hudson. You got guys. I know I probably just left off some names, but you got guys where all these guys can be put up under your belt and be some guys like, oh, Coach Adams coached these guys. You know what I'm saying? And I know he, over the years, missed out on the Washington guys. Now you got the California guys, you know what I'm saying, that's on the team now and elsewhere. But you in good hands, you know what I'm saying? They're going to make you look better than what people think you going to have them looking, which I hope y'all get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, these receivers going to make him look damn good. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say it in a harsh way. But all in all, if we go back, the hires from Dan Lanning, I would say they were all good hires. You know what I'm saying? Now doing my research, now getting back into the groove of things. They was all good hires. I'm ready to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I was all in with not Georgia, but the Ohio State Oregon game. But we just got to see how things go. It's new. Everything's fresh. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be competition throughout the depth chart. And I hope things go according to plan and we just rock out and win games. But even if we do drop the Georgia game, it's understandable. But with the talent we have on this roster, we shouldn't drop no Pac-12 game. I'm Lacavelli. Like, subscribe, leave a comment as always.